Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. With the same enthusiasm, I am back in front of you for my second video. Thank you for all my subscribers. For those who are seeing my channel without subscribing, please subscribe my channel and watch my videos. Let's go to our channel. We all of us know Ranveer Singh as a famous hero in Bollywood, but nobody knows how much he struggled to reach that elevation. One day, when he was in his second year, his tutor asked him to enact a scene. He did it very perfectly that brought emotions for all the audience who are sitting there. His teacher has told him that you will become a great hero one day or the other in the Bollywood. Likewise, he started developing interest in the same field his tutor has told him. He came to India and joined as a copywriter. Then, he started doing small works in the shooting area, like pulling chairs for the directors, supplying tea for the directors, cameraman and for all the workers over there. Then he switched on lights. He didn't feel shame for doing so. Instead, he had a great hope that one day or the other he will be identified by a famous director. The day came and he was called by a famous director and his first movie was Ban Baje Bharat. Now he is a very famous hero in the Bollywood. So, what's the moral of the story? Believe in yourself, believe in your hard work, believe in your talent and have consistency in what you do. Definitely, you will reach that success one day. Welcome back to our Teaching Learning channel. In my today's video, I am going to teach Class 10 ICSE Biology Chapter 1 Cell, an Independent Unit of Life. I have drawn a plant cell here and named the parts with numbers. Each part I have given a number. I am going to teach each and every parts individually like this, mentioning their characteristic features in the beginning and their functions. Look at this diagram. The first part is your cell wall. Number 1 is your cell wall, the outermost layer or outermost covering of the plant cell. Number 2 is your cell membrane. Where is cell membrane? The third layer. If you see, I have drawn it with blue color. The third layer is your cell membrane. The third part in this plant cell is cytoplasm. The fluid part inside the cell membrane is your cytoplasm. Then fourth one is your Golgi complex. See, look at this stacked structures, stacked in the sense one above the other, arranged one above the other. So the structures which are arranged one above the other are Golgi complex, the fourth part. Then fifth part is the chloroplast. Chloroplast is the organelle which is present only in the plant cell. That's your fifth part. Sixth is your nucleus. Nucleus is located here, attached with some other cell organelle, and this nucleus forms the center of the cell. Sixth is your nucleus. Next, seventh is your endoplasmic reticulum. If you see, this endoplasmic reticulum is attached to nucleus. I have drawn it separately. If you note down, I have given this red color dots on one side and just a plain endoplasmic reticulum on the other side. So that's your seventh part. Eighth part, the red color dots inside the cytoplasm is your ribosomes, which is also present on the endoplasmic reticulum. Ninth is your very important cell organelle, mitochondria. Then 10th is your the big vacuole present in the plant cell. Plant cell has the biggest vacuole. Coming to the characteristic features of cell wall. As I have mentioned here, the cell wall is rigid. What is this rigidity means? Rigidity means the hardness. Definitely if you touch the plants, they'll be very hard. Not like us. Though we have bones, we don't be very hard like plants. So they are rigid and very hard because of the presence of cellulose in them. Cellulose are present in the cell wall of a plant. Second point, the cell wall is non-living. It's a non-living part of the plant. Then third one, they are freely permeable. The word permeable means permission, permitting. Here the cell wall will allow the substances to enter into the cell or cytoplasm. That's why it's called as freely permeable. Means it will allow all the substances to enter inside freely through itself. Then functions of cell wall. Functions of cell wall, it provides rigidity and shape for the cell. If you see, plant cell has a definite fixed shape. Look at this structure, it has a fixed shape. This is because of the cell wall. Then it protects internal structures. Like how for a house we have a compound wall around which protects the house, doesn't allow anything to get inside. Likewise, a cell also has a cell wall around for protecting the internal organs. Then it allows, as I said here, freely permeable. It allows water, oxygen and carbon dioxide only. It does not allow any waste materials inside, whatever it is. It allows water, oxygen and carbon dioxide very freely inside. Next is your cell membrane. The cell membrane present in the third layer is the outermost layer for animal cell. But here for the plant cell, it's the innermost layer. The cell membrane is flexible. What do you mean by flexible? Easily movable. Flexible means it moves easily. Then it's delicate. It's very sensitive and it is living. For the cell wall, I said it's non-living. Cell membrane is living part of the cell. Then it is selectively permeable. Therefore, the cell wall, I said it's freely movable. But here it is selectively permeable. Means it allows substances very selectively. It does not allow everything as cell wall does. It filters what is not needed and sends it out. Then the flexibility and the delicateness of the cell membrane is because of the presence of lipoprotein bilayer. Therefore, the cell wall, I said, the cell wall is made up of cellulose. But here cell membrane is made up of lipoprotein bilayer, which means the cell membrane has two layers. In between these two layers, it has pores. These are the pores present in between the two layers. The pores, what do you mean by the pores? Pores are nothing but a small holes through which the substances enter inside. So these are the pores which are present in between the cell membrane. Coming to the functions, as already discussed, it regulates, regulation, sending, checking and sending inside what is needed for the cell and what is not needed also it sends out. The only passage is cell membrane. It regulates the entry and exit of substances. Next is cytoplasm. The third part is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is jelly-like. Jelly. I can say it is semi-solid. Semi-solid. The fluid part or the semi-solid part present throughout the cell behind your cell membrane is your cytoplasm. It contains a mixture of water, 90%, that's why it is semi-solid, and inorganic and organic substances along with it. Then it also contains the very important part which may ask in 1 mark is it also contains enzymes which catalyzed dark reaction of photosynthesis. The cytoplasm contains enzymes which catalyze dark reaction of photosynthesis. What is this catalyze or a catalyst? You might have heard in chemistry about a catalyst. For a reaction to occur, the two reactants, when they are reacting to form a product, they will add a catalyst. The catalyst work is to speeden up the reaction. Here also, enzymes act as a catalyst to speeden up what reaction it is? Dark reaction of photosynthesis. We all of us know photosynthesis is a process which is carried by the plant with the help of sunlight and water and oxygen. So this photosynthesis, why is it called as dark reaction there? As during night time, there will not be any sunlight, plants utilize the stored food called as starch during that night time. Only daytime, since there will be availability of sunlight, plants prepare its own food. So, as it is very dull time for the plant during night time, it needs to speeden up the reaction. That speeding up of reaction is done by enzymes which are present in the cytoplasm. It also has cytosol part. This may also be asked in 1 mark. Cytosol. The cytosol is the region present between cell organelles and cytoplasm. Look at this diagram. These are the cell organelles and the plain white background is your cytoplasm. The space between the cell organelles and the cytoplasm, the empty white color background part is your cytosol. The place where there is no cell organelles in the cytoplasm is your cytosol. Functions of this cytoplasm. Of course, the cytoplasm has all the cell organelles. Each cell organelle will have different functions. Apart from that, cytoplasm is the place where aerobic respiration occurs. What do you mean by respiration? Respiration is a process of exchange of gases either in plants or in animals. Here, aerobic respiration means aerobics. You might have heard people doing exercise and they call it as an aerobics. Where will they do? They will do it in the terrace or in the open veranda. In the sense, where they get sufficient air, they will do those exercises. That's why they call it as aerobics. Now the word aerobic here also means the same. Aerobic respiration means the respiration that is carried out in the presence of oxygen. So the aerobic respiration is been taking place in the cytoplasm. Next is Golgi complex. See here, I have marked Golgi complex like this. The same thing I have drawn it here. This Golgi complex has flattened membrane sacs that are stacked on one another. So they are flattened. If you look, it's like flattened. They are membrane bound sacs stacked on one another. What is this stacking? Stacking means arranging one above the other. If you see, this is one membrane, this is one flattened membrane and this is one flattened membrane. Each one are arranged one above the other. That is stacking. They are flattened membrane sacs stacked on one another. What are these called as? They are called as cisternae. We call them as cisternae. This cisternae's function is they pack and forward units of the cell. That is, they are called as packaging and forwarding units of a cell. What are they going to pack? If you look into this diagram, I have marked some spherical structures with dots inside. What will this pack and save or secure? They are going to save the proteins and fats synthesized by this Golgi complex from enzymes. As I already said, this cytoplasm has few enzymes for dark reaction. Those enzymes not only do that favorable work, it also tries to destroy the proteins and fats synthesized by Golgi complex. So to escape from enzymes, the Golgi complex protects its own proteins and fats around as a membrane. That's why the cisternae is called as membrane bound sacs, and they are packaging and forwarding unit of a cell. They also contain mature RBCs and sperms. RBCs, the other day we have seen RBCs are a type of blood cell. Then sperms are present in the male reproductive part. These enzymes may destroy the proteins and fats. That's the repeated point. Then the functions of this Golgi complex. They synthesize enzymes and hormones. They separately synthesize enzymes that is needed for the body, and the hormones secretes. It secretes few hormones that is needed by the body. These enzymes are not only the enzymes, we can also call them as proteins also. Okay, so you may get a doubt, these enzymes destroy the proteins and fats, and now you are telling enzymes are proteins. Yes, the enzymes that is destroying the proteins that is produced by the Golgi complex are present in the cytoplasm. The enzymes that are produced by the Golgi complex are inside the Golgi complex. So these enzymes will destroy or completely escape or disappear the enzymes that are present in the Golgi complex. So that's why they are safely secured inside a membrane. Then this Golgi complex also helps in the formation of vacuoles. As I already said, vacuoles play a major role in the plant cell in storing the water molecules. Then it also produces or secretes lysozyme, synthesizes lysozymes. Then it also helps in the formation of cell wall. The fifth organelle is chloroplast. I have mentioned here chloroplast and I have drawn it also. Chloroplast is the important cell organelle for plant cell. This chloroplast is absent in animal cell. What is the importance of this chloroplast? As you have seen, I have written so many about this chloroplast. Before going into chloroplast, let me talk about plastids. Plastids are the cell organelle which contains three different parts. One is chromoplast, leucoplast and chloroplast. As the name says, chromo means color. It contains two different pigments. The color of anything is because of pigments. So chromoplast contains two pigments like xanthophyll and keratin. This xanthophyll is yellow in color and keratin is orange or red in color. This yellow and red color of this is the color of the flowers. So this chromoplast gives colors for the flowers. Next part is leucoplast. This leucoplast is colorless. Then what is its function? It stores starch for the plant. As plant keeps synthesizing starch, where is it storing? It is storing in the leucoplast. The third part of plastid is chloroplast. Chloroplast contains green color pigment called chlorophyll. So this chloroplast is the type of plastid. Let's see this chloroplast. This is the structure of chloroplast. It has two membranes, the outer membrane and inner membrane. Inside the inner membrane, it contains two different parts. As I have mentioned, the fluid part you call it as stroma and the cell organelle part you call it as grana. This grana, I have marked it here. See, I have marked one above the other. So each unit of grana you call it as thylakoids. So totally a group of thylakoids arranged one above the other is called as grana. The chlorophyll pigment that is needed for photosynthesis is present in thylakoid. That's why this granular region is called as photosynthesis occurs here, so it is called as light region. The photosynthesis occurs in this part, so it is called as light region. Whereas there is no activity in the stroma part, the liquid part. That's why it's called as dark region. So this chlorophyll pigment, this is present in the thylakoids. The next part is nucleus. Nucleus is called as brain of the cell because it's a very important part of the cell. This nucleus, I have drawn it here and here. This nucleus is protected by, again, a nuclear membrane, as how cell is protected by cell membrane. What's the function of cell membrane? It is selectively permeable. It does not allow substances, all substances, to enter inside. Likewise, nuclear membrane also, cell membrane itself is selectively permeable and it does not allow anything. In that selectively permeable substances also, nuclear is even more selective. So, nuclear membrane is also selectively permeable outside. Inside the nucleus, it has nucleoplasm. As how inside the cell we have cytoplasm, here inside the nucleus, it has nucleoplasm, where it contains chromatin and nucleolus. In between these two nuclear membrane, we have nucleopores. Nuclear pores. I can also call them as nucleopores. As I already said, these pores are nothing but the holes which allows the substances to enter inside and sends some of the substances to go out. Then this, talking about this chromatin, look at this structure. Where have you seen this? In your 9th standard you might have seen this and studied this as DNA structure. So this is the DNA double coil helical structures which contain outermost in its membrane, it contains proteins. The proteins of chromatin or the DNA is called as histones. The histones are the proteins present in the outermost part of your DNA. So if this chromatin fibers are spread like this, they are called as chromatin fibers. If the same chromatin fibers are condensed, brought together and coiled around each other, they are called as chromosomes. We all know chromosomes are meant for passing hereditary information. What is this heredity? Heredity means we look similar with our parents, we look similar with our grandparents. How are we looking similar? We are born for different mothers, but still we have few features which are similar with our parents, grandparents and uncles and so on. Which means some of the genes that are present in them are also present for us. That is what is hereditary information. Heredity means from one generation to another. So through these chromosomes, the hereditary information is being passed from one generation to another generation with the help of genes. Genes are present in the chromosomes. Next, this histones, as I said, the histones, the proteins and the DNA together, you call them as chromatin. The next part is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is this one. I have drawn it twice, but for the down part, I have marked red color dots. Those are called as ribosomes. So, two types of endoplasmic reticulum are there, smooth and rough. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is smooth because of the absence of ribosomes. This is called as rough because it has ribosomes on its surface. The function of rough endoplasmic reticulum is, since it has ribosomes synthesize proteins for the body. Then, smooth endoplasmic reticulum synthesizes fat molecules and lipids. Both are more or less the same, lipids and fats. but lipids are the higher molecules of fats. The next part here is ribosomes. Location of this ribosomes, we all of us know it is present on the endoplasmic reticulum. They synthesize proteins for the body. The next ninth important part is your mitochondria. Mitochondria is here. This mitochondria, if you see, it's of double membrane. The outer membrane is continuous, whereas inner membrane is folded inwards. That's why they call it as inner folds. The inner folds are called as cristae. There for Golgi complex, I said it is cisternae. This is cristae. The cristae of mitochondria will have, I have noted it with green. It has F1 particles, or you can also call them as oxysomes. These oxysomes or F1 particle play a major role in synthesizing ATP molecules. ATP means adenosine triphosphate molecule, which provides energy for the cell. For all the activities, metabolic activities of the cell, ATP molecules play a major role. So these ATP molecules are synthesized by F1 particle or oxysomes present on the cisternae of mitochondria. Apart from this synthesizing ATP molecules, it also maintains the calcium ion concentration. This calcium ion are present abundantly or more in blood, which helps during blood clotting. So, it maintains the level of calcium ions. Apart from this, it also has its own DNA and ribosomes. Then nucleus. Nucleus has its DNA. Likewise, it also has its own DNA and ribosomes. The last part here, the biggest one, is your vacuole. The vacuole is only single layered and you call them as tonoplast. As it is single layered, the vacuole is called as tonoplast. It is non-living part of the cell. This vacuole functions as storing water, food and the pigments that is needed for the cell. That's the end of plant cell. Now, there is only 2 points of difference from plant cell and animal cell regarding cell organelle. Apart from cell wall, there is 2 more difference. That is your centriole. Centrioles are not present in the plant cell, but it is present in the animal cell. This centrioles helps in the formation of spindle fibers during cell division. Cell's major work is to divide. During cell division, this spindle fibers holds the cell into 2 parts. The chromosomes or chromatin material has been brought together to the extreme 2 poles by the spindle fibers. Thus, the spindle fibers are synthesized by centriole, which is present only in the animal cell. Next, your lysosomes. Lysosomes are called as suicidal bags of the cell. Suicide. They commit suicide for themselves. In the sense, they involve in intracellular digestion. Intra means inside. The unwanted materials or the unwanted substances which enter into the cell is being digested completely. What is happening in digestion? We are breaking down the food products. Same way, intracellular digestion means the unwanted substances are being broken down into small pieces and that is completely taken up by the lysosomes. That's why it's called as suicidal bags of the cell. This lysosome has a speciality which definitely they will ask in 1 mark. This lysosome contains 40 different types of enzymes. This lysosome contains 40 different types of enzymes in it. So, that's the end of this chapter. In my next video, I will start with chapter 2, cell cycle, cell division and structure of chromosomes. If you like my video, please click on like button and subscribe my channel. Forward it to your friends. Thank you for supporting me.